Hi everyone, Shani Ferguson, just outside Jerusalem. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make these videos every day because we do have a lot going on, but I'm going to try to keep you as updated as possible and give you, cover different topics on different days because there's just a lot going on. Today I will probably cover media, and media is important because it is essentially the way that Israel communicates with the world, and usually Israel is on the negative side of the media, and let me explain a little bit why. In Israeli culture and in Jewish culture, there is a very strong sanctity for life and honor, and honoring the dead. And so what has happened in past operations and past wars is that when there are attacks, and there's been very bloody attacks, Israel doesn't photograph them and send them to the media because it's dishonoring to the family. They don't want the family and loved ones to be exposed to photos of their loved ones online. On the other side, if I'm sure you've come across terrible photos of wounded or dead Palestinians, or funerals of parading bodies through the streets, mass rage. What you'll find in Jewish funerals is a lot of sorrow, deep mourning. You won't find the rage that you find on the other side, because they use their funerals to stir up anger and hatred, which they develop from a very young age when it comes to Israel. And so what has happened in the past is that people see photos and videos of Palestinians wounded or dead, and they think, oh my goodness, this is terrible, but they never see the Jewish suffering because we don't post it, because it's dishonoring, and we understand that it makes us look in can't think of the word, impenetrable, or unable to suffer. But this is a choice that Israel has made for many years. What changed in this situation was that the terrorists infiltrated, which at this point they've found 1,500 bodies of terrorists strewn across the south, and recovered. And that's just the ones that they've found so far. And those terrorists were the ones who filmed and posted the atrocities that they were doing. So what ended up happening is the world was looking, the terrorists thought that they were doing something amazing because they were shaming the Jewish people. They were showing them as weak. They were showing them bullying little children. They were showing old people in humiliated positions. So to the Arab world and the Muslim world, they look like heroes, but to every other sane human, including in the Muslim and Arab world, who does value life and does think these things are atrocious, it entirely backfired on them. It's the first time that the European Union and a lot of people, and a lot of leaders from different countries have seen the atrocities that we've been dealing with for decades. Of course, this was on such a greater level that it just compounded the fact that it showed who we're dealing with. And so today, Israel allowed the foreign media to come in and film a village that was basically entirely wiped out, either murdered or kidnapped. People were in their bomb shelters, and if the terrorists couldn't get in there and kill them, they set fire to their houses and burned them down with them inside. So people were filming when it happened. Of course, photos and videos were sent to among, not the official media, but WhatsApp groups or the loved ones or whatever, to show what was happening, but they weren't shown, and they still aren't being shown by Israeli media because, again, it's dishonoring. And so they did allow the the international media to come in and film the atrocities. And they still said, look, these are homes. This is not this is private property, and so you can't go into the houses and see the atrocities inside the houses. We still want to respect that, but you can film the outside and see an entire village that was wiped out, among the many that were damaged and destroyed, and that has changed things, similar to the way that other events worldwide, when you can show footage of what happened, it just really grips people. And so that is a significant shift in Israel's approach. Even letting them come and film the outside to see what happened is a big deal. And I hope that it has the impact that it needs to have on people that have either sat on the sidelines or been against. So there's a lot more to say, but I do want to say, because a lot of you have been asking, what can we do? I know we're praying. I know we're, number one, share that this is happening. Give out the information. There's a lot of people that are not sitting and watching the news like you guys are. They don't have access to Israelis on the ground, and so they're just getting whatever there is. I would also encourage you, if you have children, be aware of what they're seeing. There are some really, really gory videos out there, and they're probably running on all the TikToks and the social media and WhatsApps. Be aware of what they're watching, because there's a reason that soldiers come back from the field with PTSD from the things that they saw, and there's just things that we don't need to see. So it's okay if you want to see enough to be aware of how bad it is, but a lot of times kids will just be, and adults will be drawn to, oh my goodness, this is so unbelievably terrible, and then you just don't realize how much you're digesting, and humans are not supposed to be exposed to that level of horror. And so I would encourage you to be aware of what your kids are watching. Encourage them not to expose themselves. And if you're watching the news nonstop, we're not doing that. It's not healthy for us. I'm getting off to go be with my children. We've got work to do in the background. We did have a lot of people ask what they can do. We have a fund that we set up. It is at Maoz Israel, MAOZISRAEL, maozisrael.org/war. If you're asking yourself, you can give with confidence. Maoz Israel has the highest ratings on Charity Navigator, which is 4-star, and the highest on GuideStar, which is also Candid. It's platinum status. The money goes where we say it's going to go. We've been here 45 years. We have a lot of contacts in the country, a lot of ways to get supplies to people in need. We're not currently going down south because it is dangerous. There are still terrorists out there, potentially, and we don't want to add ourselves to the number of people that these soldiers have to protect. But we do have access to people down there. We are able to get supplies to families and any of the soldiers that need food or basic supplies. So you can go to maozisrael.org/war and give there. You can write us if you have any questions. We have some significant gifts that are coming in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This isn't going to be a short war, and so we're not running outside to spend it all at once. There's so much to do. There's so much to do. But thank you for caring. Thank you for giving. And I will do my best to keep you updated. But again, my priorities are here, and I appreciate you caring. Bye-bye.